you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
I don't know for sure if Kamala heard him say, Christ is king. Maybe we'll give her a benefit of the doubt. But either way, it worked out just perfectly. It's a perfect metaphor for her and her party. Kay Smythe is here. She's the campaign and content manager for Million Voices, and John Graves is the CEO of Million Voices. Kay, John, how are you both?
Great. Good to be with you.
Good,
to talk to you guys. We've been quoting a lot on my radio show and on my podcast, a quote from Charles Spurgeon. Back in 1881, he said, "We are now called upon to exercise one of the privileges and duties which go with liberty. Let no man be neglectful in it." He said, "Every God-fearing man should give his vote with as much devotion as he prays." John, how many Christians do not vote in elections?
In presidential elections, the average for the last 40 years is about 40% of people do not vote in presidential elections, which is pretty crazy. It's higher than that, 60% in off-year elections.
Okay, why? Why is that the case?
I think that. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I thought he said
no. Okay. Oh, no. This is the story of my life. Again, maybe I should change my first name when I get married. It would make my life a lot easier. It's almost worse than Smythe. Mm-hmm. But no, to your point, Mike, I think one of the things that we've been covering a lot at Million Voices and seeing a lot is just a huge number of pastors coming out and saying, guys, the God is in control thing, that excuse that you guys are using for not showing up and exercising your free will, that is a cop-out. I don't mean to take up too much time here, but one of the stories that I love to tell, or the analogies I should say, is sort of the man on the river and the river is about to flood. So his neighbors come by and they say, dude, we got a boat, let's get on out of here. The guy says, no, I'm good, God will save me. About 2 hours later, rescue services come by with another boat and they're like, can you get on this because you're about to drown if you don't get in here? Dude says, no, really not that interested. God will protect me. You're all good. So a short while after that, the guy drowns. And when he gets up to heaven, he says, God, what the heck? Like, I thought I was all good. Like, I thought you would protect me. And God stands there and says, I sent you 2 boats. What else did you need? I sent you warnings and 2 boats. And I really wish that so many other Christians, particularly young Christians like me, who are just sort of finding their faith, would really just be bold, as John loves to say, and, you know, take action in a way that I certainly can't. I don't know if you guys have heard my accent, but I can't vote. But I would really, really hope that Christians that will sort of heed that call that we're hearing from pastors and move, because that God is in control, that is a cop-out. Like, we're done with that, hopefully.
Yes. John, what do you say about the God sovereignty issue? And what is your message to pastors, to preachers who are maybe hesitant to get behind the pulpit and talk about anything that may be political in any way?
Yeah, it's a cop-out for a lot of people. It's an easy way to kind of get out of it. Actually, as soon as this interview leaves, I'm going downstairs and I'm speaking to over 500 pastors in Georgia about this very topic to try to get their people to mobilize, because government belongs to those who show up. And so biblically, we're called to be salt and light. That's how we came up with Million Voices. We want you to use your voice to vote. Government belongs to those who show up. And if you're not showing up, now the reasons that are given are they're all corrupt, it doesn't matter. It's like, but we're not voting for a pastor. We're voting for someone who's going to lead the country in a complex area of things, and there's very clear choices. And one of the most motivating factors, according to George Barna, who's the preeminent pollster in the faith space, is that a nonpartisan candidate fact sheet is what moves people. So that's what we've created, and that moves people. And pastors are free to use it. People use it, and a lot of people are more ready than their pastor to get engaged.
What is that? What is a nonpartisan fact sheet?
So a fact sheet, if you go to millionvoices.org, you'll see on there we've got Trump and we've got Kamala, because that's the president. We've got the vice president. We've got all the key Senate races and governor races that are toss-ups. You can go to 16 different issues. So let's say you want to take the border or defunding the police or fracking or whatever you want to. And we did the footnotes for you. We did all the homework for you. And all you have to do on millionvoices.org is just click and see the quote of both candidates. Now, you may not love 100% of either candidates, but you're going to know exactly what they said and where they said it. So we've basically taken, they talk about fact checking. We fact check the candidates. We don't endorse or oppose. We're a 501c3. Pastors are free then to click it, print a PDF, and pass out as many as you want. It's no cost whatsoever, and it's approved by constitutional attorneys.
Millionvoices.org. Is that the right website?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Everyone go to millionvoices.org and check on that fact sheet. Okay. What do you say to the Christian who's hesitant to vote because we're supposed to be not of this world, right? We're supposed to not conform to the patterns of the world. I don't want to get involved in the messy dirtiness of politics. And also, Trump, he's not squeaky clean himself either, right? So I'd rather just stay out of the whole mess.
Well, I kind of agree with John. We're not voting for a god, we're voting for a politician. And, like pretty much every major institution, politics is inherently corrupt. We're essentially going to be voting at this point, I think, for certainly a commander-in-chief, someone who is literally put in place to keep the country safe. I think we tend to turn politicians into celebrities these days, which is really counterintuitive to picking a leader. I'm personally I say that, but then you look at either party and I think both parties have actually picked the perfect leaders to represent each of their sort of ideologies. But I think we need to sort of take it down to a more localized level. And really, I would love for, particularly young Christians to just kind of ask themselves, okay, so I can take a step back, but is that ignoring my duty to actually shepherd and protect this planet and keep it here and keep it protected for future generations? One of the things that I think is so inherently normalized on the left, and this was something that I saw particularly when I lived back in California. A lot of people sort of know this about me who follow me, but I was actually a very liberal, very sort of socialist, progressive-y leaning type person. And then I lived in California and I could read, and I learned that this was not the way. This is not the American way. And so for me personally, I think that these demographics really need to take their ego out of this situation and realize that they have the type of control that can influence everyone's lives, not just their own. So yes, you can sit back and you can kind of say to yourself, no, I don't really want to do anything. I think that there's this inherent corruption. I think blah, 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 blah. But you're being presented with a form of action that can make positive real world change. How do you justify ignoring that opportunity in the future? Just think about hindsight. I think I don't know, does that answer your question? I feel like I could write a PhD dissertation on this.
Absolutely does. John, my last question, I got about 30 seconds. These preachers, these pastors you're going to be speaking to in just a minute here, a lot of pastors are hesitant to even talk about abortion from the pulpit because they want to be political here. What is your final message of encouragement, not only to the pastors, but again, to the voters, the Christian voter who may be on the sideline?
I think it's, again, the same thing. Government belongs to those who show up, and you've got to use your voice. If you don't show up, you're also voting by your silence. Somebody else is going to show up and vote, and if you don't counter that, then you're going to have the wrong person that is against religious freedom, that is against life, that is against biblical marriage, that is for men stealing women's sports, on and on and on it goes. And so I think a lot of people are waking up, and I have a prediction for you. I think Trump is going to struggle more with the white evangelicals because there's more of a fight going on there. I expect that he's going to have a surge with Hispanic people of faith as well as black people of faith. And I think you're going to see that, and it's going to shock a lot of people in 2 weeks.
Let's do it. Kay Smythe and John Graves, millionvoices.org to get that fact sheet and all this other information about getting Christians to vote. Millionvoices.org. Kay, John, great to talk to you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on our special here, just to speak to Christians, maybe thinking about not voting or whatnot. This is a good work. Right? God has given us this gift of living in the United States of America. A blessing, what an opportunity we have just to sit back and say, no, I'm not going to do it because this person's not perfect in every way. It's like, come on. You're voting not just for a person, you're voting for a worldview. And one may not be perfect all the time, but the other's not even close on any of the things. I guarantee you there'll be more Christians in a Trump administration than there will be in a Kamala. There'll be more drag queens than Christians in a Kamala administration. So you're voting for a direction. We're voting for a worldview. I think that choice is clear. My podcast is Politics by Faith, where the last couple of weeks we've been focusing a lot on this issue and why I believe Christians need to get out and vote. Everyone, pagans as well, everyone needs to get out and vote. And let's win this election for our country.